You ready? Huh?
Yeah, it looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a statement here, which is from the NASA coalition, and more so the summit. That's the top organ of the NASA coalition. This is being issued today on the 12th of August 2017, and we wish to reiterate our total rejection of the sham presidential results announced yesterday by the IEBC. We know for a fact that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Fred Matiang'i, and the police command and agreed to shoot and kill, with a response which is coming from NASA supporters and many Kenyans following the announcement of sham election results. We want to confirm that over 100 innocent Kenyans have been killed, 10 of them children. Police also ferried their bodies away, putting them in bags, in gun bags, to hide evidence of unfolding brutality. The violence being meted out on those defenseless citizens in their residential neighborhoods is intended to subjugate the will of the people and NASA into submission. We will not be cowed. We will not relent. We wish to remind Secretary Matiang'i and the Police Inspector General Boynet and all his deputies and the responsible police commanders, they are personally responsible for these violations of both Kenyan and international human rights law. Fellow Kenyans, Uhuru Kenyatta does not have any electoral mandate to be president of Kenyans. We wish to assure the people that we have the will, the determination, and the means to make sure your vote will count at the end of the day. We shall do so. The culture of stealing elections with impunity in every 5 years must come to an end. The NASA leadership will communicate our next course of action at the appropriate time. For now, we appeal to our supporters and Kenyans at large to stay out of harm's way. And I want to demonstrate to you the spent cartridges which has been used to maim and kill the innocent Kenyans. Here it is. This just picked in a few seconds that our members of parliament have gone to Kibra, and just one spot. There are more here. And this is a direct evidence that the government is killing unharmed, innocent Kenyans. I wish now to ask my brother, Co-Chair James Orengo, Senior Counsel, to come and this one. That's all. So I want to ask my brother, who is my co-chair, Senior Counsel James Orengo, to come and make some few comments and probably respond to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm ready to answer any questions if there are any. but I think the statement speaks for itself. If you have a question, just tell us your name and the organization that you represent. And before I get there, if you examine these cartridges, you'll find, they bear the mark of the Kenya Defense Forces Ordnance Factory at Eldoret. We have a factory in Eldoret operated by the Kenya Defense Forces. So the source of this ammunition is quite evident. Question?
My name is Joseph from the Standard. In your statement you have said about 100 Kenyans have been killed since last month. So will you give us a breakdown of where are these victims, where they were shot, and so if we can be able to identify some of the victims?
In Nairobi, people have been shot dead in Kibra. People have been shot in Mathare and surrounding areas like Dandora. There are deaths reported of many people in Kisumu, in Siaya, in Homa Bay, Migori, Kawangware here in Nairobi, and we don't know where else by the end of the day. But these operations, as we speak, continue. Yes?
You have said that you want your supporters to stay out of harm's way. Is that a statement to ask all those on the streets to just be calm until you make any further decisions?
Well, that statement is clear, but you must put into consideration that when this announcement was made, and we told you about a week ago, and I think some people didn't take us seriously, that there was a unit which was trained, a paramilitary unit, under the Kenya Defense Forces, which was trained to deal with operations before, during, and after the elections. The operations that we witnessed today bear the marks of this elite unit. And we told the press and the media at that time that this elite force had identified certain areas, including Kibra, Mathare, and it is not by accident that these operations are taking place in those areas. And these operations were not on the basis that there is any civil commotion, but on the basis that these places will be cordoned off before the announcement and the declaration of the results, which is what happened, that they would go into people's houses, break their houses. We said all this more than a week ago. So it's a situation which has been provoked by the military, but whether or not they have been provoked, the answer in a democratic and civilized society where people have rights and freedoms is not to kill them. There is another better way that is borne by the law.
Senator, John Ackley from the Financial Times. Two questions, please.
Yep.
I was in Kibera and Mathare today, and the streets were packed with your supporters, and they're all saying, why is Mr. Ryder not speaking? Why is he not telling us what he wants to do, what he wants us to do? You said you will give guidance at the appropriate time. When is that? Why is it not now? Why is Mr. Ryder not speaking? And secondly, is court still off the agenda, or are you now thinking of going to court?
This statement that we're making is a statement coming from the summit. And Raila Amolo Odinga is part of the summit. And those who are calling for Raila Odinga to make a statement have an ulterior motive. And we can see why they want Raila to make that statement. We are not going to be attracted to that invitation.
For those of us who are more naive, what does that mean?
No, you're not naive. But I know you know why they want Raila to come out and make that statement. And he has made many statements before.
And court? Is court still off the agenda?
Court is completely out of the agenda.
Mr.
Yeah, back there.
Thanks, James.
Yes.
Yesterday's declaration was a total sham. We could even see that the commissioners were not prepared and the figures were not tallying. Are you likely to take that to court or something?
Well, that's what we're saying, that all is there for the people to see.
Yes.
And there are occasions when you have gone to court, even if something as clear as daylight, as you point out, and the proceedings have been frustrated. So we are not going to go for that invitation to get through a judicial process. We are going to the court of public opinion. And the objective is to restore the sovereignty of the people of Kenya, because all authority is delegated by the people of Kenya and must be exercised through constitutional means. And our view is that a stolen election does not amount to establishment of government as provided in Article 3 of the Constitution. Yes?
Just a clarification, you've asked your supporters, Robert Magilla, CGTN, you've asked your supporters to remain calm. Are you asking them to remain calm but continue exercising their democratic right to be on the streets to protest, or remain calm and
You can't ask free people to exercise their democratic right.
remain on the streets?
No, what we're saying, they should remain calm. I think that's a fair statement.
Stay out of harm's way.
And stay out of harm's way. I think that additional qualification speaks louder than I can verbalize. The lady there?
Katrina Stewart, The Independent. You say the evidence is therefore to see, but we haven't yet seen any evidence, particularly regarding the Form 34As. Do you have anything further on that?
You know, if you've been following this story, the IEBC said in broad daylight through the chairman that they were not going to release the results of the elections until the Forms 34As had been made available to the political parties, and the IEBC has received all the Form 34As. By the end of the day yesterday, there are only about 29,000 odd papers, Form 34A, that had been received. When it came to the question of Form 34B, they said although they had received those forms, because the elections as announced and declared by the returning officers at the constituencies are final and cannot be altered, they wanted the returning officers to take accountability of those Form 34B, especially where they could not validate them because of one or two reasons, including lack of signatures. Now, there was a ton of events in the middle of the day yesterday when we had talked to the American ambassador, we had talked to the British High Commissioner, we had talked to the religious leaders. Mr. Raila Odinga with his team met the chairman of the commission and commissioners, and they gave all those assurances that the election is not ripe for any declaration until and unless the process of validation had been completed. But as we said yesterday, the executive applied pressure on the IEBC, and you could see all the arrangements were in place for making of the declaration, a point which should have been made known to the other candidates. Therefore, I can tell you without fear of contradiction that the Commission has let the country down. And by the way, courts normally would question, if you rush to court, and they would question why you did not exhaust the internal mechanism of dispute resolution, which in respect of the Electoral Commission, when it comes to votes, at the polling station you can ask for a recount, you can make objections. At the constituencies, before the returning officers, you can question the process of verification, you can question the retallying at the constituency level, and a similar process is replicated at the commission. And that's why for some time the commission was listening to us and inviting any objections that we were making. But instead of resolving those issues that you had raised, they decided at the last minute, to make a declaration at night, and some of those things were being done even when the statutory documents were not ready, because you would know that the chairman had to sign certain statutory instruments or documents after it was placed before him to read out.
Sebastian,
Wanana from KTN?
Yes, Sophia on the KTN. You made a very serious allegation, 100 people dead, 10 of them being children. Showed us some cartridge, but how does that information get verified? Do you have more evidence?
Well, normally the place you would go is to go to the mortuaries, the morgues. And I think we have had that experience. This time they are a little bit of a one step ahead. They're putting these bodies in body bags. Where those body bags are ending, it is very difficult to know. Again, when these body bags were being distributed just before the elections, we raised an alarm, but nobody listened. So this violence, this state terror, is being executed following a very meticulous preparation. It's like they knew what they were going to do. They knew they were going to steal an election. They knew the people would be unhappy. And therefore, all the instruments of violence were put in place. State violence were put in place to cower people and to intimidate them so that no national outrage is expressed.
Right. Senator, how can you tell your supporters to remain calm when you continue saying that the election has been stolen, which is likely to agitate them further when you say a number like 100 have been killed?
Mr. Mado, when people are unhappy about any election in the world, demonstrations do occur in the United States following Mr. Trump's election. The kind of demonstrations that were witnessed in cities across America were many in New York, in Washington, in Seattle, and they were not peaceful demonstrations. But at least there they are civilized. The police are not trained to kill. They are trained to ensure that people exercise their rights of expression. And all that we can say is remain calm, keep out of harm's way.
Dr. Matiang'i said they did not shot at any peaceful protesters. The only people who they used force on were criminals who were destroying property.
Even do you kill criminals? Do you kill criminals? Is that the law we have in Kenya? I look at you and say that's a criminal, and I put a bullet through your head. I think, and children. That's fascism. That's state terror. And that's what we are witnessing. And I forgot to add that what is happening in Kibera should be seen as a military operation. Because we have tried to talk to some people in the police force or the police service, and they're saying, yes, people are being killed, but they're not our people. That's what some people from the police service are saying. Yes, sir.
Felix from Bloomberg News. Could you give us a breakdown of the deaths, the 100 deaths that you're talking about, which areas?
No, I've told you, there are many. Like in Siaya, I can say there are about 5. In Kisumu, there are about 15. In Migori, another 5. In Nairobi, about 30. And it's continuing. But if you want those statistics, we'll get to them. But in earlier times, it was easier because they would definitely take them to the mortuaries. So what we used to do, in order to do a body count, we would visit the mortuaries. Now they're not doing that. They're taking people in body bags. The destination we don't know.
Senator, what's your reaction to the parallel vote tally by ELOG, the Independent Kenyan Observer Group, that put the results of the election based on its assessment from 6,000 observers at 1,700 polling stations to within less than half a percentage point of the IEBC's result?
Do a check on that organization, and you'll find your answer.
Tell me.
You do a little bit of investigative journalism. You'll know why they're taking that position. I need not say more, but I think it's part of your role when you hear somebody say anything. Do a background check and look at their history and all that. Then you would know why they're saying those kind of things.
In
say that the current problem we see now, is it bigger than election? The other thing in the lane that need to be addressed, is it only about election, really?
It's about an election, and it's about taking away the sovereignty of the people. Because, our Constitution has said very clearly that the sovereignty is with the people and is delegated to elected representatives. And I talked about Article 3 of the Constitution. It says a government must be established in accordance by the Constitution, and if any government is not established as stipulated in the Constitution, then that would not be a lawful government, cannot be a legitimate government. So it is not just about the candidates, it's not just about the political parties, it is about the people. And that's why the people are making, you are hearing the people making their voice heard. I think we'll do one more and then we'll finish. Yeah.
What other options legal are available to Kenyatta and William Ruto were presented today as the next president and deputy president? So short of going to court or calling for mass action, what other options are these that you say you'll announce later? Well,
if I answer it now, then I'll not answer it later. But the constitutional means are varied. There's a cocktail of constitutional means, extra parliamentary processes, which we are quite aware. But I think we have said enough. I just wanted one of our members of parliament, who is the Kibra member of parliament, just to give you a graphic story of what is happening there. Ken Okoth.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Okoth. I'm member of parliament for Kibra constituency, which includes Kibera slum. And I would like to let you know that that is one of the sites of the saddest happenings since last night. In my constituency today, I went with a delegation of governors from NASA. I went with a delegation of senators. I went with a delegation of members of parliament and MCAs. We were about 40 people. We requested from the Deputy County Commissioner permission to access. They were not clear about allowing us to access Kibra, but we went nevertheless with the mandate of the people having been elected, not once but twice, to go speak to our people. Since yesterday, and for months leading up to the election, we saw a campaign of peace-mongering telling us, speak about peace, tell your people to be peaceful. Today when we went to tell our people after they started being killed and harassed and intimidated last night, to be peaceful and to stay out of harm's way and to know that the forces that have been sent there are no match for them and have no good intention for them. We were not given that opportunity. We were turned away very brutally. There was media with us. We do not give up. We want to send a message to our people. Please do not compete with these people. They have the means to finish you. Your life is very valuable. And most importantly, we are asking Kenyans and people of goodwill around the world. I have noticed very sadly on social media in Kenya, people are saying that if these people don't maintain peace, the police should go ahead and kill them. If they are criminals, they should not be arrested and they should be killed. My message is very simple. Today you celebrate the extrajudicial killing of people in Kibra. Tomorrow it will be you, and there will be nobody to speak up for you. So Kenyans need to be very sensitive that the lives of the people of Kibra also matter, and the government to whom we pay taxes and buys these bullets should buy these bullets to protect us, not to use these very bullets to come and kill us. The people, the mothers, the children of Kibra are asking that weapons like this from the Eldoret Ordnance Factory, labeled KDF, should be used to shoot Al-Shabaab and terrorists who harass our country and should not be used to have innocent people injured. I'll give you an example of a child who was on a balcony and was shot. The child was not a protester, was not a goon, was not a criminal. And just by being a child in Kibra, they are gone. So I think really we need to take this seriously. Our people are suffering, and we are going to stand with them, and we will say they have a right to be Kenyans, they have a right to vote the way they voted. We know that majority of the votes in Kibra went to NASA, they did not go to Jubilee. Please do not punish us because of the way we voted, because what we are feeling now is you're punishing us for the way we voted. We're going back to Kibra right now with the senators and the team here, and we are asking for police protection rather than harassment, to allow us to speak to our people, not to incite them, but to remind them to stay peaceful, to stay out of harm's way as we find ways to engage with the government on all these issues that are outstanding about the election. But please, all Kenyans have a right protected in the Constitution, and let us make sure those rights are respected. Thank you.
Just a little bit before we leave, we just got a report that there are a large number of people, more than 30, who have been taken to Kenyatta National Hospital with bullet wounds, so that those who want to see the extent of this operation in terms of causing injury to the people, you can go to Kenyatta National Hospital. The other thing which is amazing, the Inspector General of Police is saying Kenya is calm except in Kibra. Now he's speaking as if Kibra is not part of Kenya. Kenya is calm except Kisumu. To the Inspector General of Police, Kisumu is not part of Kenya. Kenya is calm except for Mathare, as if Mathare is not part of Kenya. For us, insecurity in any territory or part of the territory of Kenya, be it a square inch, is as important as anywhere else in the country. But we denounce the Inspector General for degrading certain parts of the country, and I hope this is not to imply that there is a special law which encourages genocide or extermination of lives in certain part of the countries that you can justify by the manner in which they voted. But those remarks smack of arrogance and smacks of fascism. Thank you very much.
We invite them.